A major fishing chief has warned that a no-deal Brexit would be a big problem for the European Union as Brussels is so dependent on access to UK fishing waters. Barry Dees, the CEO of the National Federation of Fishermen's Organisations, claimed the UK holds all the cards in a no-deal Brexit as the EU fishes 5 times more in UK waters than Britain does in EU waters. He said there would have to be annual negotiations on fishing quotas. Speaking to Express.co.uk, Mr. D said, "If there's a no deal this week or next week, you would have to have annual negotiations to set the quotas for next year. I would imagine there would be some talks there, although the same issues would arise for the EU. If there's no fisheries agreement, then EU vessels don't have access to fish in our waters, and they fish in our waters 5 times as much as we fish in their waters. It causes a big problem for them if there's no movement on the quota shares." He added, "The UK holds all the cards in a no-deal situation because the EU are so dependent on obtaining access to our waterstow fish." France takes 84% of the quota for cod in the English Channel while the UK is allowed only 9%, according to Mr. Dees. He explained that the extortionate quotas need to be ironed out in a Brexit trade deal between the UK and EU. It comes as the bloc wants to see the status quo maintained for fishing access and quotas, but the UK government wants Britain to have controls of its own waters. He said, "EU vessels have automatic access to the resource-rich UK waters. That's what underpins everything." The deal from the 1970s. When quotas were introduced in 1983, a decade later, they reflected that original deal. You have situations like, in Channel cod, the UK share of that quota is 9%. The French is 84%, Celtic Sea haddock where the UK share is 10% and the French share is 66%. It's those kind of extortions that the fishing industry wants ironed out. Disagreements over how to guarantee fair competition, fisheries, rules for settling disputes or the role of the EU's top court have so far prevented progress as the bloc seeks to tie London closely to its rules while Boris Johnson wants to cut this country loose. The Prime Minister wants a loose trade deal with the EU. The bloc is seeking much closer ties for the future covering climate, fishing, transport and security.